Hey everybody, welcome back to the LuckyDog podcast. This is your host, Elias. This podcast is sponsored by EliasRoushMedia.com, photo, video, digital media production. Today we're discussing Downton Abbey, the 2019 movie that all of Downton Abbey and their fans have been waiting for. It's directed by Michael Engler, written by Julian Fellows, the same writer as the series. This is continuing the story of the Crawley family, the wealthy owners of a large estate in the English countryside in early 20th century. So, this movie's at 2 hours and 2 minutes, PG, and everyone's wondering, is this movie what we have all been waiting for? Well, I'd say Downton Abbey was one of those shows that was already pushing above and beyond what regular, quote-unquote, cable standard television was doing. Of course, it didn't have the production of an HBO or a Netflix streaming service, but they really did their best to try to push themselves to the forefront. And I think the majority of the time, the characters, the visuals, and the overall story and direction really worked throughout the six seasons of Downton Abbey. Now, when I see that there is a Downton Abbey movie coming out, well, I'm thinking, well, we just watched, 50 plus hours of Downton Abbey. Do we really need to watch another episode? Or I'm saying 50 plus hours. I'm sure it's closer to, 40 or something like that. But we've watched a lot of hours of Downton Abbey. So when I'm seeing this movie, I'm like, what justifies this to be a movie? Is the writing, the story, the direction? Do we have an incredible director coming around? No, we just have the majority of the cast. And so, not that that's a bad thing. It's great to get the entire cast lined back up for another story of Downton Abbey, but to be quite frank, as someone that really enjoyed the first 4 seasons of the show, that's really all I needed. I don't need this additional movie that has happened to come out just out of nowhere. When this movie was happening, I was getting vibes of the Christmas special that was, I think, released in one of the final seasons. Thinking that, why wasn't this just, added as like another Christmas special or something, like, the lost episode? That's what it really felt like. So, basically, the Queen comes to visit and stays at Downton Abbey, and during this time, the entire staff has basically their evil doppelgangers take over and try to take over their jobs as serving at Downton Abbey only while the Queen is staying there. And so, of course, naturally, they are not having it. You got to recruit Carson out of retirement, and we got to get the whole gang back together. And, of course, there's mayhem, and there's drama, and there's, romance and whatnot like that. So, the problem with this movie specifically is this did not suffice to... This story did not feel up to the level of being a movie as it should have been. I think that there was more dramatic storylines throughout the series that would have lent to itself to being a better movie than this storyline. I felt like this was a contrived storyline, having the Queen visit, having the entire staff be mad and petty, and basically, be their own reckoning. Andy breaking the furnace and shit like that, and getting mad at his girlfriend. Forgot what's her name. I kind of forgot everybody's name over the course of the time. Let me see. Daisy. Yeah, Andy getting mad because of Daisy and shit like that. And Thomas getting stuck in in a called out in a gay bar in the 1920s or whenever the hell the year is. But basically, and was the Irish fellow? He's it makes it look like he's about to shoot the king or something like that, which obviously that's not that's not going to happen. He's actually saving the day. I just felt like there was a lot of manufactured plot lines that are happening throughout this movie. And I'm sort of getting into spoilers a tad bit, but I haven't said who lives, who dies, so I won't say that yet. But let me just say real quick, pros and cons. The acting, of course, they've got some incredible actors here. The direction is not what I'm liking. I think that's actually what I'm thinking about now. So the acting, the costuming, the settings, the music, the cinematography, they all generally work for me. It's not my favorite color palette to use, but generally I think it works for the brightness and the tone. The cons, the cues in this still feel like a television show. Something about the way that the music was incorporated still just felt very too much not cinematic enough. The editing, wasn't crazy about the editing. I thought it was just very simple, I guess. Pacing, I was drudging getting through this, and I really liked the first 6 seasons of the first couple seasons of Downton Abbey. So to not be able to make it through these last 2 hours, it's just like, oh, I don't know why. I really don't know why. The story, again, the story was just so hard to get through. It just felt like the reasoning that all of them were getting so pissed off and so petty at the presence of the Queen and their assholes that work for them. Just like, let it go. Y'all are grown ass men, grown ass women. Do your own thing. Take the time off. Enjoy it. So the furnace breaking. Let's hop into spoilers real quick of what I haven't spoiled yet. The furnace breaking was so stupid with Andy. I talked about that, him getting pissed off at Daisy. That never comes back around. Hardly anything really comes of it. It's stupid, manufactured drama between royals and regulars is what I just completely boiled it down to, and it's just petty. The assassination attempt on the royals made it almost look like Tom was involved, but of course Tom wasn't involved. He wouldn't just do that out of the randomly. It just sounds ridiculous. I have this side espionage plot going on. Get that out of here. The writing and directing is still television oriented. Like I said earlier, the movie felt still like it belonged on television, and there was no reason for it to be called a film. Leave it to Mosley to buck it up when they're basically going smooth sailing during the dining scene and everything. Mosley has to be the one that says, Mrs. Patmore is the one that is feeding yo asses, and basically bucks up the whole thing. But if we can't go through a Downton Abbey episode without Mosley almost bucking something up. So it's his tally for this episode. Love the line, I never argue, I explain, which is from Grandmama. A touching scene of love lost and Lucy the maid. What? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about on that. A touching scene of love lost and Lucy the maid. I really don't know what that meant in my notes, so I'm sorry. I guess I'm just rambling. Downtown is the heart of the town. This was a line that I think Mary was trying to talk to Abby about, or what's her name? It's not Abby. It's Anna. Sorry. Anna and Lady Mary are having a conversation about leaving Downton, and there's you can't leave Downton. Anna's like, you employ us, you employ the town, you run the town. It's could they not turn this massive estate into something that would maybe make a little bit more money for people, not just living quarters for the staff. I don't know. It felt like Anna's being a little selfish with that, and I don't know if they completely thought that through and they're just going to give it up. Lady Mary's going to ask Anna one time, should we leave? And I feel like they don't want to take care of that estate. I mean, it looks like a literal 24/7 job. I couldn't imagine. Like, turning it to a school would not hinder that. Like, it could easily be a school for tons of kids. I don't know why they wouldn't think of that though. Yeah, everyone had a counterpart they hated. I thought it was real cheesy with the king going up to the Irishman, and it would be just being, very good, son. I think I have a lot to owe you, and all that. It's just like, God, this is so cheesy. I felt like I was pulling my hair out when I was watching this. Just a lot of ass kissing. I was like, this is so, doesn't remind me of the best parts of Downton Abbey. It, like, when something comes from a television to a movie, it should, or from any other medium to the movie, it should make you want to seek that brand out and figure out more about the brand. This did the exact opposite. This made me want to turn off the brand, made me want to say, thank goodness it's over. Like, that's not what you want to do in a movie. We also find out Grandmama is dying, and not to be sad about it, because really we're only told about it. Nothing really bad happens after it. I think what she's doing is just securing her spot and not coming back into more being Grandmama and any more of these Downton Abbey specials. But I mean, she's by far one of the best characters on the show. And if you're a fan of Downton Abbey, which I don't know why you would be listening to this if you weren't at all, or maybe you're just interested, she is the best character probably on Downton Abbey. With regards to line and delivery, she's excellent. Honestly, I felt like the majority of this movie really didn't matter. Like, the fact that the Queen visited, nothing happened. I didn't feel like anything really developed. I think the Irishman might have fallen in love again with one of those maids, but honestly, other than that, I feel like nothing of substance happened in this movie. It was very disappointing for Kelly and I. Just watching this, we were like, oh, this is not good. So, all right, everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching LuckyDog Podcast. I'm sorry that Downton Abbey and Mrs. Patmore and Mr. Carson were not as interesting as we had all been hoping, but hopefully you like some additional podcast reviews coming down the tube. Depending on when this is released, we have already released, HBO's The Outsider Season 1. We've been checking out tons of movies, tons of reviews coming down the tube. So check those out. Aftercasts also are coming down the tube as well. If you'd like to comment, question, concern, if you have concerns, email the LuckyDogPodcast@gmail.com. Twitter, LuckyDogPodcast. Facebook, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Discords. Link all in the description. Join the chat. Join the Twitch stream. Let's have a conversation. Tell me what you think about the most recent movies. Tell me what you think about Downton Abbey. Did I go too hard? Did I not go hard enough? Was this movie your favorite movie? Were you looking forward to Downton Abbey? Give me a heads up. Let me know. LuckyDog Podcast. Thank you, and take it easy. Take it easy, Mrs. Patmore and Mr. Carson.